Hey guys, it's Dest Dol.
And it's Tolu.
And this is
Under the Bed.
I find it so funny how we always go like high on that
Literally,
note.
high in the sky.
Today we have a special guest.
Very, 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 very special guest.
An incredibly special guest. A monumentally special guest.
Monumentally.
Give me a better word.
The apostle, the teacher, the prophet, the pastor, the everything.
The brother.
This is Tyrone Junior. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Wait,
It's so
you
good to
clap.
be here.
No. This is Tyrone Junior. Welcome to Under the Bed. This is our first guest appearance.
Wow, I'm honored to be the first guest. Thank you for having me.
First of all, I think the first question we should start with is, who is Tyrone Junior?
Who is Tyrone Junior? Well, Tyrone Junior, in the cliche way, let me say it, a young guy who loves Jesus. But I'm a young 23-year-old, well, probably might be 24 when this comes out, 23-year-old guy who loves Jesus, gave my life to Christ. I want to say quite young, 16. Just been pursuing God ever since. Left university to pursue God properly.
Wow.
As in you were in university and you dropped
I
out?
dropped out.
No way, what year?
First year, 0.5.
Okay.
Second,
Wow,
yeah.
I didn't
I
know
never
that.
know how to say it. Like I finished first year, but I left before I could even start second year.
Yeah.
That's when kind of the pandemic kind of started through. Went into full-time ministry quite young after I came back from my Christ for All Nations boot camp. And yeah, I'm just a young guy.
Just a young man serving God.
Just a young man
So
serving God.
Tyrone leads a ministry called Wildfire. We've been to quite a few of the events and they are amazing. I know you're on a bit of a break right now, but whenever it comes back, guys, Wildfire is the
need
place
to
to
go.
be. Yeah. So when did you start? You're 20. You said you're 23. So when did you start
23.
Wildfire? What age?
I started Wildfire. Officially, the launch was when I was, I think I was 18, 19.
Oh
It was
my
in,
gosh.
19. It was 2020.
I was not doing that at 18, 19, boy. Damn.
So you were a leader of a ministry at 18, 19.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, that's when I started officially. I started a like mini trial when I was in university. Did like some events. Then I collabed with some of my friends in Birmingham. But yeah, the official launch was in August 2020.
That is insane.
Mid-pandemic, mind you.
It was in the midst of the. People were like to me, "Oh, you're crazy, you're dumb." Somebody was even telling people, "Yeah, don't go to a silly event. This guy has no wisdom.
Oh
He's
my
just zealous. Like, why is he doing an event in a pandemic?" I was just like, people were saying all that stuff.
How did you even pattern that mid-pandemic?
Honestly, it was God, like, because I was actually going to cancel it because I was like, it's getting too much. People were like, yeah, just do it online. But God was like, this is not an online thing. Like, this is to
the
gather
presence,
people.
yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, when we launched, there had been no like proper Christian event in the UK since the pandemic. So we found one venue and we were like, we had one venue. Then we started putting tickets out and it was actually, people were actually registering. So we're like, okay, this might be a bit small. So we reached out to another venue and they were like, yeah, come.
This is in the middle of the pandemic.
This is the middle of the pandemic. They're like,
Oh
yeah,
my
you come. We're like,
gosh.
yeah, but we want to observe pandemic. I was like, our venue's massive. Don't worry. Like, you couldn't even. So we're like, cool.
Let's go.
Pay the
for it.
deposit. Get there now. And the venue is packing up. Like, it's packing
As
up.
in so many people.
So many
came.
people are turning.
Oh
we
my
didn't even expect
gosh.
that many people.
Do you know what's crazy? Yeah, I feel like a lot of people probably like lost their way during the pandemic in terms of, because obviously you ain't got no service to go
Yeah.
to. There's no midweek service. So you doing that, probably everyone was like, I need something.
Yeah, I
Like,
think-
let me get there.
I
Let me
think
get there now.
it was like, the guy was vexed. He was like, why is there so many people? And we're like, bro, you told us that we were like, we need more chairs. He's like, no, you're not getting no more chairs. He was angry. He was like, you told me this, we're like, you said, did it? So it was, and then he even made us like close the doors so that people couldn't even come in anymore.
Ushers, actually, should I say ushers?
Close the door.
I said, close the door. And yeah, but I think what was powerful was that not a single COVID case came out from that meeting.
God.
Not a single. Someone snitched on us though, called the police on us.
No.
But here's the crazy thing. This is how I knew it was God. The police came the next day thinking the event was on that day.
Oh, but it had been and gone.
But it was yesterday.
Oh, wow.
But it was weird. They got called. I think somebody called them prior, but they must have missed up the date. So they pulled up to the venue the next day. So Sunday. They're like, we heard this event here. And everyone's like, huh? What are you talking about? Like, there's no event. The event was
Look at
yesterday. So
that. And no one got COVID.
Angels, not a single person caught a COVID case. No one got sick.
God's presence, man. You can't
Yeah.
beat it.
Literally, I remember I went to a party in the pandemic and we all got COVID. Every single one of us, all of us, we all got, like, it was literally back to back to back to back.
Yeah. I
Everyone
literally
in that
remember you
party
telling
got
me,
COVID.
I've got
It's
COVID
crazy.
from going to that party. Look at
sad.
that. when you're outside of God's presence,
Literally.
the viruses
I mean, the
will come
virus
to
will
you.
catch you
get
quick,
it?
boy.
Literally. So
That's
from
crazy.
2020 to starting your ministry mid-pandemic to now, how have you seen it grow and what has it been for you leading this ministry?
Yeah, I mean, the growth, I feel like sometimes you get to a place, that's how I felt, that like the growth of the ministry starts to even outgrow you at some point. You're just like, yo, this is growing quicker than my ability to even grow. And so there's many times where we've, just gone on retreats as a team, as a ministry. And then also you get to a place where it's like, we were getting so big, bigger than our budget.
Yeah.
So now we're like, we need to find venues. And it's like, but all the venues that can fit what we're doing are beyond
Spending.
beyond our spending
'Cause
capacity.
yeah.
And for a lot of people a lot of young ministries, they have the benefit of being under like a church body kind of covering. Wildfire wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
you're just doing it straight.
it was
by you.
straight. It was just me. So like, some people can go to their church and their pastor be like, we need
Get some
money.
money.
I'm
Yeah.
the person that is like, we need money. I always say that Wildfire owes me money, man.
Yeah, damn, you're
And
bleeding
so-
money, boy.
Yeah.
Honestly, bleeding money. But one of the things that God always said, like when I started during that online thing, was that it would always be a gathering ministry. So we found that when it comes to like gathering people, we've never like struggled in that. People's like, how do you get so many people to turn up? We don't even know. Like people are like, what's your
Everyone,
marketing
yeah.
strategy? We're like, we don't even.
It just happened.
We don't even have one.
Put out a
Like,
poster,
I think
people
it was.
just come.
People
It
just
was
flock.
God. Like that was one of the hallmarks that God gave us. Like, I'm gonna be with you. You're gonna see. Like people will just come. Like just do this, and people will just come. And so yeah, I mean, the growth it forces you to grow quicker as well. I feel like in many ways it forces you to mature quicker. But yeah, the growth has been exponential. I mean, when we started, we had like a big launch, and then our first few meetings, 150 people, 200 maybe max. And then at some point, it's funny, at some point, we had this one service, which was like our last 200-ish kind of service. And I remember God told me to go on this fast for our media team. So I'm praying for the media team and stuff. I even told some of the like media people. And then something happened. Every post that we posted after that service just went viral.
Oh my god.
Every single post just like went viral. And then from then it was like, we couldn't even fit in.
Yeah.
Like one service, the hall is barely packed. Then the next service, you have to take out the chairs.
Yeah.
Because the hall is like too full. And then ever since then, it's
So
kind of
something
just been
shifted.
that.
I actually
growing
remember going to
momentum.
a wildfire event and you were ill.
I was ill.
You wasn't well, and then you still like were powering
Turned
through.
up.
I remember that.
Yeah, I think it was the one that Pastor Randall.
Yes, yeah.
I think every wildfire I've been to has been packed, like to the brim.
Yeah, no, it's been honestly the grace of God. But I mean, yeah, it's been fun on the other.
I can imagine.
What would you say is the
exciting.
hardest thing about running a ministry, apart from the financial burden, of course?
I think being young and running a ministry is so hard because you lose friends, especially when like you're working with teams and like you're a leader and like your friends are on a serve and support you. But then now the dynamic starts to kind of get weird because like, how do I see you as my friend and my leader, not friend? So that becomes like really, really hard. It becomes so conflicting. You lose friends in that. I mean, some people you have to now determine, are we going to be friends or are you going to be my leader? Like, it's like some people it doesn't work. And that's really... So yeah, I would say I think there can be a balance because I do have that balance with some people. There were some people where it's like, I feel like because of the dynamics of leadership and friendship, I lost that. So I think that's really a hard thing that people don't talk about.
Do you think some people don't take you seriously because you're young?
Mainly older people, younger people too, like they bro you a lot. And not in like a age mate kind of bro, but like, shout out, man, we're age mates.
Yeah.
Age you
Do
think,
you
well, we're
feel
age
like
mates.
you've had insecurities because you're young?
Ooh, good
Oh,
question.
that's a good question. I feel like, have I?
Okay. Maybe not.
No, I mean, yeah, probably. I feel like how, I wouldn't say it's an insecurity. Actually, maybe it is an insecurity, but how people see me, did affect me a lot. And so it kind of became kind of this conflicting thing. Like I'm trying to prove myself to people, but also trying to be authentic at the same time.
Yeah, that's
And so it's just like this, how do you, and then like I've been in places where like my authenticity was demonized or like was shamed upon, like, don't be yourself kind of thing. People never take you seriously. You have to be this. And then, but like, I don't ever want to be like a fake person, you know? So I want to be real. But then, and it's like, sometimes you feel like in the realness, like people don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
So it's like, where do you find the balance? Is there a balance? I think there is. Still trying to find it.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. But for me, my style, I just prefer to be authentic. I just prefer to be. One of the things that really marked my life in leadership was Jesus comes out the grave, and people like doubting whether it's him. And this is what stuck with me, and this has made me be authentic. Jesus' proof wasn't power, wasn't anything. He said, look at my pierced hands. He shows his weakness. He shows his humanity. He's like, look at my nails pierced hands. And so like, I always just found that astonishing that Jesus' proof to people wasn't power or this. It was look at my nails pierced hand. And Isaiah tells us it's that weakness that gives us strength. Those nails pierced hands gives us freedom. And so that's kind of a mindset I've kind of been of a leadership. It's like, I would just always show people my nail pierced hands, my humanity. And I've learned that for me, I've seen that that's made people become a bit more attracted to me and like me more.
Because I think I've realised like people do want realness. Like I think there's been so much of this like we're all acting to act like a certain people, or we're all copying a certain minister or a certain pastor, and we're all praying like them or doing that. But people want to know who you are for you 100%. Rather than who you're imitating or pretending to be.
And I think it helps to connect with people more because like it makes people feel like, okay, this is not. Because sometimes you can look at people and it's like you think this is so hard to achieve because of the fakeness. But when there's people that show you the realness, it's like, oh, like
this isn't too far.
This isn't too far. We have the same sufferings. Like some people act like, oh yeah, I don't ever get tempted. I don't ever suffer with money. It's like no, like we all do, and it's like, and when you're open of those things, it can actually help people more than trying to like just like fake it.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll be thinking, bro, I'm the only one in the world being tempted. Like I'm the only person.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Every other Christian's fine. It's just me.
Yeah, I remember once I went to one of my ministers because I was like struggling. I was like, yo, I feel like this lust thing is getting me. Blah blah blah. So like, and if I mentioned him, he's a senior man of God. I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I suffering? It's like, I'm sure this doesn't happen to you. And he was like, no, this happens to every minister.
Wow.
I was like,
drop the name. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
State the name.
And I think hearing it from him as well, the type of minister he is, I was like, for him to say that, I was like, okay.
That
like,
must have brought you so much.
It did, because I was,
comfort.
because I was really demonizing myself. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm fake. I'm a mess. Blah, blah, blah. You preach one thing, but it's like you're struggling with this as well. And he's like, no, he's like, all ministers go through it. Like you're like, it's like nothing to shame yourself. I was like, okay.
Wow. That's powerful.
That's very
powerful.
I feel like the more authenticity in the Christian space, the more people will be able to grow.
Yeah.
100%.
Because even through like us doing this podcast, the amount of comments we've had saying, oh my gosh, I love how real you guys keep it. And I'm just like, it's even like a weight off my shoulder. Because even starting this podcast, like I didn't want to start it from a place of, I'm just this girl who's just,
but we're not,
because I'm not. I think I'm obviously in a good place on my journey, but there's still things that I struggle with. There's still doubts that I have, and it's just like talking about. Let's talk. Like let's actually talk. Let's be honest.
Conversation. Let's
be honest. Let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be honest.
What's let's be honest?
Is our podcast that we did, and we had the same thing. We'll just like let's just have conversations that people don't really have. Let's have them, obviously, from a faith-based perspective, but let's just be real and transparent. Obviously, some people are like, I feel like you guys could be a bit more honest. And we're like, chill, we're getting there.
How do you find that line? Because it's like, even with us, we called ourselves Under the Bed, because we want to bring things to light, talk about things that people don't usually talk about. And I think we have already done so, but trying to, I don't know.
People are in our, let's say they're in us. So they're like,
guys, my mum's watching this. Like, can we not?
Can we calm down?
Can we chill?
I think we've done okay so far. But even with you, when you were doing the podcast, how did you find trying to be authentic but still not too much now? Yeah,
I know it's a hard balance because people do, and you do want to be real authentic, but then the dichotomy of being real authentic, especially as a minister, is there's two sides to how people hear your story. So I could come and confess my sins. Probably I'm struggling with this. And then somebody can take that as healing, but another person can take that as, if he's a man of God and he's a minister and he can do it, then I'm going to flip and go and do it. And it's just like, that's not the intention
not what I'm trying to say.
of authenticity. So sometimes you do have to kind of bring a balance, because it can
use wisdom.
It can damage people on one hand, and it can build people on the other hand. And
how do you feel like you navigate how you show yourself in public? because I feel like we always say like there's a certain way that you can, not to say that you need to be fake, but there's certain jokes that you might make with your friends, right? Well, I don't know about, maybe it's just me. There's certain jokes I might make with my friends, but in public, I probably wouldn't say that just because someone might take it like what we were talking about yesterday, like, and then take it to the extreme. So like, how do you navigate that whole like, I still want to be my authentic self, but I do have to use wisdom as to like how I am in public?
Yeah, I think for me, I just, like my openness is within like boundaries. So
That's quite good.
I think I am open, but then like the depths of my openness just depends on my surroundings and my people. So like I said, I try to be, even if you watch my Instagram story, like I do put my humor in there. I do put my characteristics. Somebody asked me a question and I'll respond to it funny. I'm a sarcastic person. Sometimes I'll respond to it sarcastically. Somebody yesterday asked me, how do I hear the voice of God? How do I know it's God speaking? I said, how do you know it's your mum speaking to you?
I saw that on your story. Yeah.
So I'll do stuff like that. Obviously, I came back and answered it properly just so they don't get offended.
To make sure.
But like, I like to show that, I'm still
human.
I'm still human. And I'm still young at the same time
really
as well.
are.
There was a point where I felt like ministry made me old. And I was like,
Wait.
I'm like, I'm actually young. Like, let me be young again. So yes, for me, I just try to be open as much as I can. But obviously, depending on who I'm with, my surroundings will depend on my depth of openness.
Yeah, so boundaries. I like
Before
that.
before you came to God in 2020, or well, not really, well, you started your ministry in 2022, but you said you got saved in 2016?
2017.
So before that, what was Tyrone Junior like?
Oh man, you know what? I was actually the same person I am now.
How old were you?
Just,
You're like, what,
for the
13?
world.
He's a baby.
No, I was 16, 15,
Okay,
high
that's
school.
okay.
Yeah.
I gave my life to Christ just before I went to college. I was just like any normal, first class clown. I mean, that guy in the class that was always getting in trouble, always getting sent out. But I was the life of every party, man.
I remember one time you came up on my For You page on TikTok.
I did the story time.
And you did a story
I
time.
saw that.
And
Very
I was
funny.
proper laughing because I was just like, ain't no way.
I was. I think for me, I'm a PK. So like I shared in that story time. Yeah, I'm a PK. So like I shared in that story time, that being a PK, I always say PKs are two ways, man. They're either fully on God or they're the complete opposite.
Complete opposite.
So I think I had my fair share of being the complete opposite. I feel like I love the fact that I was a PK because it gave me a level of God consciousness from young.
Foundations.
So I guess I know I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for that foundation I had. So I do believe I had a head start. But there was a point in my life where it's like, everyone's looking at me like, you're the pastor's kid, you can't do this. You're the pastor's kid, you can't. Even my cousins, like, because my parents were kind of strict to me. Yeah, you can't come out. Your mom's not going to let you out. That's what So it really forced me to be like, I can do whatever the heck. And watch me. So I would now take things to the extreme. Like, people would drink, I'm going to drink.
I'm going to get drunk.
Yeah. Like,
Cool.
One day I even snuck out I was in church. It was Holy Communion. I didn't take it because I knew I was going to a motive that night. My mom looked at me, she's like, why are you not taking Holy Communion? I was like, I don't think I'm ready. Then I snuck out the house. I think I came back and she must have smelt me smelling like alcohol. She's like, this is why you didn't take Holy Communion, because you went to go and drink.
You had already like what's that? Premeditated.
Premeditated.
And you knew,
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I was just a normal, young. I was loud, noisy. I did get excluded when I was in primary school.
In primary what were you doing in primary school to get excluded?
Joint enterprise for stealing.
Okay,
I stole, but I got away with joint enterprise. I threw it on my partner. I feel sorry for her. Sorry if you're watching this, you did.
What would you say were like the main things that put you off kind of coming to God fully?
I think sometimes when you see older African parents, their lifestyle, you're just like, is this all that there is to
I
God?
know what you mean, yeah.
Number one. I think number two, I grew up seeing people like Benny Hinn and stuff like that. And my mum was really, really sick. So I used to be like,
I remember
where's
you
this
said,
God?
yes,
Where's this God to bring healing? My mum was really sick. So I say like that was kind of it. And I guess and the pressure as well. Being a PK, your parents, your family put pressure on you. You have to be this, you have to be that. Yeah. And so I'm a young guy, I'm like, no, I want to live my life.
Yeah.
This is a bad one. This is what I mean, like when you share your openness. My mum was a bad girl. Before she got saved, she was a bad. So I would just be like, she's a pastor now. She had her journey. Let me do my journey too. Me too. I'll also arrive. One day I'll be a pastor, maybe. But let me be a bad boy like her. So those are the kind of things that put me off. I'd say for me, it wasn't really like put off. Mine was like, I'll serve God at this age properly, but let me just live my life until I'm
because my mum got saved at 17, so I would always say I'm gonna get saved at 17. And one day my mum came to my room and was like, "You've been saying to God you want to get saved at 17," and it was so mad because I've never said that to her. So it's so interesting how we have this idea of when we want God to arrest us. Like
where you are now in your journey. young man on fire for God, having your own ministry. How do you keep your altar on fire?
I think number one is boundaries with people, because people can actually, I've learned this, people can, pull down your fire. I think like Pastor Randolph was preaching it at the last service at Meal Meet. He was talking about how, Elkanah was putting Hannah off. It's like you have a child. And so you find that who you kind of allow into your circle. I've learned, I know I'm going to get to the whole prayer side, but that's a real key one I've learned. Like who you actually allow into your ears can set you on or can set you off. Of course, I think discipline is just a key thing. But I always say this, you can't be disciplined as someone that you don't value. And so I think for me, I've learned to have value for what I believe God has called me to be.
But then how do you get that value?
I think it comes through intimacy with God, because if you don't, I would say many people, the reason why they don't value it, because they actually don't know what God has called them to be. And if you don't know what God has called you to be, you'll just waste your life around. But how do you get that value? I think it comes through genuine time and intimacy with God and the Holy Spirit. Like the more time you spend time with the Lord, the more time you actually value your time with the Lord. That's why when people are like, what do I do if I've run away from God? Just come back.
Yep.
Slowly by slowly, step by step, you'll just fall in love with it again. Discipline, obviously like regular consecrations people do, like fasting. People are like, I fast off social media. I think you should fast off social media when you're doing a normal fast. Like I don't think social media is a normal fast. I mean, biblically, listen to me. Even like 6 to 6 fasting, I don't really like 6 to 6 fasting. I think it's too easy. I think it's cheap.
What do you do?
If I'm on a fast, I'm like minimum like midnight to 6, because the average person goes 6 to 6 without eating. Let's be real. Like how many times have
you
guys
church, we do midnight
without
to 6.
I think that's the best way. Obviously, different people have different capacities. It's a good place to start. Or if you're doing like long periods of fasting, then I'd say 6 to 6. But for me, like 2 days, 1 day, 6 to 6 is too easy. Like, and half the time people don't even wake up at 6 a.m. anyway.
Yeah.
Waking up at 12 p.m.
That's so true.
Going to work. By the time you come back, it's 8 p.m.
I would always do that. If I know what, like, God forgive me, but back in the day, if I knew I was fasting, like I'm trying to sleep as much as I can. So I've only got to be up for
taking
a few
all
hours.
them naps. By 5 p.m. you're in the kitchen cooking.
Oh mate, I can't lie. On Monday, yeah. Obviously on Sunday, our pastor called a fast, and obviously on Monday it started. I literally Uber Eats, and I was just on 6:01.
Yeah,
No. It's like 5:59. You're like, Amen.
And I'm always like, do people not pray before they break their fast? Sometimes people don't even pray. It's 6, they're already eating. I'm like, well, you're not going to break the fast?
Let's break it properly. But no, that on Monday I was struggling though. I was really struggling. And even
today, Destiny was like, I'm going to eat. I said, no, we're not going to eat. We're not going to eat. We're going to try.
Yeah. Yesterday I'm not going to lie, I broke early. But today we're back on it again.
Amen.
Back on it. And I actually feel all right today.
Yeah.
I actually feel all right. Thank you. But what you're saying about even one of the first points you mentioned regarding keeping your altar on fire, and the first point you said was
like boundaries of people.
Yeah, your people and stuff. Like literally today, me, Tolu, and our friend Lydia, we were on FaceTime. We was just proper chopping it up, and after the conversation, I felt so much better. Yeah. And I was like, I needed this, and it's so funny because I'm gonna bait myself out here, innit?
Go on.
But
go on. I'm joking.
Do you even know what I'm gonna say?
Nah.
Go on, let's hear it.
On the call, I was praying for Lydia, right? We're all on this FaceTime. And during the prayer, I say, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And basically, when we started speaking again, Lydia was like, we need to get to a point where we don't just rely on one scripture. Like there's so many more scriptures to use. And she was saying, half of the time people will quote the scripture and not know where it is in the Bible. And I was like, yeah, you know what? No weapon formed against me. I be spitting that one. I don't know where it is. Do you know where it is?
Somewhere.
It's in Isaiah. But
we figured it out.
We figured it out.
I say this to say that the people around you can point out things in you or in the group. Yeah. And now we're all gonna like think about that now. Basically.
Yeah. So it just made me realize like when you're praying, and not to say that you can't say the same thing, but I think it exposes how much of God you know, how much of the Bible you know, if you're literally just repeating the same 2 scriptures. But then even those scriptures, you've never even read them, it's because you heard your pastor say it. You heard somebody else say it. So I think even being able to pray and like you're praying different parts of the Bible shows that you're actively spending time with God.
100%.
So it's an interesting convo.
That was
very
interesting.
Because
when she said it, I was like, do you know what? You're right. I don't actually know what that is in the Bible, but I be saying it.
And people don't even know the rest of it because that's a part of it.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Forgot the rest now. We read it.
Yeah,
We forgot it now.
It was about accusing.
And every
or
tongue that
something.
rises against
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
You really are a PK.
Yeah, good
Yeah, I mean, Africans love that prayer, boy.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Question: What would you say is the biggest misconception people have about you?
I think people think I'm this serious.
Why are you laughing?
I just because I hear it.
God, like I'm this, like some people are like scared to approach me, I'm unapproachable. And I'm always like, what? Like I'm the jokiest person in the room. What are you talking about? So I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions people have. People are like, oh, so scared to come and say hi. Like you look so serious all the time. And I'm like, what? Like I'm always laughing, I'm always joking, I'm always bantering. Even when my friends hear that, they laugh because they're like, you?
Yeah.
Of all people.
They don't know.
They don't know. What else is another big misconception that people have of me? I think people think I'm desperately looking for a wife and I'm not.
Oh.
You're not?
Oh.
No, so that's a really big one. Every time I do a Q&A, I know that question's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, have you found this? Have you found this?
How many times have
Yeah,
people said, "Oh, God told me you're my husband"?
A few, but then so those crazy spam accounts maybe, but have people? People have said that. I mean, I just pray for them and bless them.
How do you navigate girls? Let's just go into that because I feel like a lot of people want to know, like, how do you navigate being a minister? Every girl wants a man of God, like they just do, and I feel like men of God are attractive to girls. So like you would probably get more attention than the average.
My friend used to say that.
How
I used to get upset when my friend said, yeah, fam, you just get girls because of your MOG complex. What are you trying to say? Like, I'm still a nice guy. Yeah. But I hear that. I think number one, especially for me, like, or as MOGs, you start to learn that. And it can be kind of hurtful because you start to now wonder, do you like me?
Or my calling?
Or do you like my calling? Do you like my followers? Do you like my connections? Do you like my ministry? And so that now becomes like a point where you like, now you want to suss people out a bit more.
Discernment is key, boy.
100%.
So key.
Number two, I used to be very oblivious.
Oh,
Purposely, because I didn't want to be I didn't want to be like a big head who thinks everybody likes me.
Yeah, and I guess that's part of your humility.
Yeah, like, so I was just like, no, I don't think this person loves. I just think they're being nice. But I feel like they like you. I'm like, nah, like, you're just like being nice, being close. But I've learned over time, boundaries is such a big thing. One thing Apostle Tyrone taught me, he was like, if you build a fence around your house, your neighbors know where you end and where they begin. And in other sense, if I build a fence around my house, my neighbor doesn't need to build a fence around their house because my fence will be a boundary, will like separate both of us.
But practically speaking, what does that mean?
It's just like how you deal with people or how you let people in will set pace for where they know where they can come in, how far they can come in. That's good. And so for me, I just kind of live that boundary life. Like now I very much, I don't say compartmentalize my life, but like when it comes to ladies, I just know which ladies I can bring in and I know which depth I kind of like give myself to people. I know the people that have all these rules, like, don't text anybody past this time.
I was going to say
I'm not really like that. Like I like to be open. So even in my DMs, I like to respond to people and stuff like that. But I guess as it relates to how much I give myself to people, I am very now cautious. Because before I used to be very much like, no, like, I don't ever want to be that. Yeah, because I don't ever want to be that minister that's like, thinks he's too big, not, because I know how it feels to like message a minister, you're trying to get
airtime.
And you get air. So I always like said, I don't want to be that minister that does that. But I've noticed with girls, it has got me in trouble so many times. Like, should I say the story?
Yeah. Story time. We're listening.
Like, I remember one time, this is it. Well,
under the bed.
I remember one time we were serving a man of God somewhere. And
drop the name. I'm joking.
No. I love how you drop the man ambiguous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Somewhere on earth.
Serving a man of God somewhere, and we called these females to help us do some of the like hospitality stuff.
Cool.
And it's a bit late. So me being me, I'm a nice, genuine person. So I'm like to them, when you guys are done, we're gonna go get food. You guys should come. Like, thank you for your help. Like, come, let's go get food.
Let's fellowship.
So not even let's fellowship. Like, let's just get food. Like, that's just me. Like, come, let's get. I'm gonna get you guys food. So we get there. We get to the restaurant. We buy food. I pay for their food. I paid for everyone's food. And so then the girl goes home now. And she like changes her WhatsApp picture and puts a nice picture of herself and says thank you at like 3 a.m. Okay, cool. And then like she
Sorry.
The next day, she messaged me, she's like, oh, like one of them, because there's two girls. One of them was like, oh, can we talk? I'm like, okay, like, but like, what do you want to talk about? But it's like, she's pressing, like, trying to talk. She wants to meet me in person. I'm like, nah, we're going to stay on the phone.
She wants to talk in person?
Yeah, like, and I'm like, I feel like I know where this is going. One of my guys is with me in the car, so I'm like, nah, I'm going to call her. You're going to be here, come witness in case
I love
she
it.
tries to say anything.
Accountability, yeah.
Call her. Anyway, talking, just in. Then she goes, yeah, let's not be around the bush, man. I know you're interested in me. I'm interested in you too.
What?
Like,
where did this come from?
I'm like, huh? Where? What? How? No, I'm not. I was so lost for words because I was like, where did this come from? And she was shocked that I was my response.
Oh, wow.
I later on discovered that one of my friends didn't know how to turn her down nicely. And so he had turned her down without turning her down about me. And so I think that kind of linked to it. Then she was now piecing together, yeah, you asked me to come and help you late night. Then you took me out and bought me food. And I'm just like, yo.
Whoa.
I was just trying to be nice.
Just trying to be nice. I'm just trying to be a nice...
A nice guy.
But
can't lie though. Like, you need a couple of more signs before you start saying that you like me. I know you like me.
Couple more signs.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so I was just like, yo. So stuff like that, you just start to like, build... Yeah, you start to kind of like build boundaries, 100%, because girls will, any nice thing you do. So I'm still nice to people, but sometimes with girls you have to be a bit more nicely direct or directly nice. I don't know if that makes sense.
Because there's that like Delulu culture that we've got now, don't we? Like everyone's like,
oh my God, he looked at me. He wants me.
He wants to marry me. Like
I've heard that so many times. Yeah, he was watching me in the service. No, I wasn't.
Bro,
Didn't even know you were there.
I was in the realms praying, bro. Allow me. What you were talking about?
Yeah, so girls are like that. But yeah, that's one of the ways I deal with girls. Boundaries. Yeah, and I think nowadays I like to keep myself like surrounded and like with people. I mean, and also accountability. Like you just have to have accountability. Like
I like how you had your friend in the car as well. So it's like she can never say he said this or he said that because there was another person.
He's right. A lot of time when I have phone calls like that, I don't like to have those phone calls. It's just like a caution because people can say you said anything, and now with even AI and words being twisted,
scary. We're living in scary times.
We're living in super scary times.
If you do like someone, how would you? What's the plan of action?
To ask you guys some questions after. Is it it's a tricky one because of like where I stand in ministry. It is kind of harder now, especially. But I'll say a scenario. No one will know who this person is that I used. It was not the one I'd use when I wasn't saved, but it worked anyway. Yes, I remember I went somewhere. There's a girl. She was really nice. She was really nice. So I said to like one of my guys, because it was his church, I was like, oh, who's this girl? He's a waste man because he left the conversation, went to her and her sister.
Too fast.
Asked her sister, she's standing there, asked her sister like, is your sister single? Blah, 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 blah. She's like, no. Left that conversation and is now walking. So when I started walking, I got up and I'm like, don't come near me, don't come near me, don't come near me, don't come near me. He still came near me. I'm like, bro, why would you come near me? Like, they're going to know that's so bait.
That's so bait.
But I think they started to clock. I think the girl said she saw my ring, so she thought I was married, but...
That's the wrong hand.
It is the wrong hand. But I think in a moment, I think she thought, she knew I was an emoji, she's like, this guy's an emoji, he has a ring, he's probably married, so whatever. I know she sells handsome. So,
period.
So she thought. And so it was kind of awkward because now he already kind of broke this. So I was like, okay, I can find anybody on Instagram. So I was like, let me find on Instagram, maybe like follow,
so you're a stalker?
Slide into. I'm not a stalker, but I can find anybody on Instagram.
Yeah.
What's not really that? You just type
I couldn't find her. This is the only person I couldn't find on Instagram. And I liked that. I was like, oh, this is a low key babe. I was like, this is good for me. It's good for the brand. And so
for the brand, that is so funny.
I said to him, I was like, bro, you're gonna have to help me get her Instagram. What did he do? What's your Instagram? Just like that, direct. So she already is like,
this is so
probably.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give him, because she knew he was married. So I'm gonna give him my Instagram because I know, and I'm gonna see where this goes. So he gave me the Instagram. I don't think I followed, or maybe I liked a picture and then left.
You know that little just cheeky line,
just a little sign, not too much,
just a little like. And you have to do a picture that's old. So this is not like one that's just a little like to get your attention, to whet the appetizer a little bit. And so
I like the
next day,
in ping pong. You know when it's like you like, they like, you like, they like. That's so
yeah, but she didn't do that. So I was like, I need to put a bit more pressure. Because she didn't like back. I was like, why is she not liking back? Maybe she doesn't use Instagram. So we got into church now. She's with her sister. So I'm mainly talking to her sister, but I'm like giving her eye contact. I'm still kind of talking to her. She's shy though. I'm just like, yeah, like Julie, getting to know them, etc. Then, but me and her sister, me and the girl, like we had a little conversation, and then I left. Messaged her. I was like, oh, it was great, like connecting with you, blah blah blah.
Yeah, because now you have something to.
Go. So she followed me back and we spoke, and then we just the conversation was very much it was just kind of like building from there. So that's one way. I think for me, I like to be very, very subtle, but I do like to meet people in person. I'm not an Instagram person. I had a situation where I did meet somebody on Instagram, spoke to them a little bit, and I just felt like they were catfish. So like for me, I like to meet people in person, get the vibes going. But I've noticed girls, especially in Christianity, maybe you guys can give me another perspective, they're so quick. They don't want to be friends and to date and to this. It's so quick, like, when's the wedding? Are you trying to marry me? What's your intentions? When you come to, and I think for me that can be sometimes like so. Sometimes you feel like caged, like you're in a box. In 5 seconds, I'm already in a box.
I don't think we're like that.
No, I think the whole starting as friends is nice, and I like it. I feel like both of us we like it when people aren't like too forward.
So how do you girls like to be approached?
Should I go first?
Go on.
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Last time we did this, you lost. Okay. So rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Wait, no. What are we doing? Rock, paper, scissors.
Shoot.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, you go first.
Gosh. No.
Like, what's your ideal approach?
Do you know what? I really like the whole like friend stuff. Like I know this sounds really silly, but like I don't want someone coming up to me like, you're so beautiful, da 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 da. Like I think the subtle approach is nice. Like not like I want to be in like, oh, I'm not sure if he likes me, whatever, but just that whole like, you know, build up, like, you know, maybe message today, maybe not, da, 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 and then it like builds up rather than that like love bombing, like straight away, like da 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 da. Like I find that like annoying and not necessarily genuine. And I like it when people are obviously like speak. To be fair, no one speaks to me in like I don't know the word, like a weird way, but like just speak clean. Like don't be coming to me and be saying all this like random stuff or like just silly stuff.
Give us an example.
No, like you know when boys are messaging you, or not now, like people don't really do it to me now, but like you're sexy, da, da, da. Don't call me sexy. Like don't do that. I don't like that. Please.
Yes. Take notes, madam. Take notes.
Please don't call me like. Don't do that.
Don't go down
annoying.
that road.
Like, can we not?
That's not
maybe when it's my man, cool. You can call me that. But if like, why not? But why is someone?
You feel like it gives like an ulterior intention. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
You don't. Do you like that?
No, I'm joking. No. I think if you call me sexy, I just know your mind.
You're trying to club.
Yeah.
You're trying to club. Facts. You
You
are.
said this on the podcast.
Oh, it's under the bed.
Beep. Yeah, literally, you got to censor that out. No, but I think come with pure intent.
Tom's laughing.
Our producer's laughing.
creasing.
But like, I feel like if you're coming on sexy, like that's just not giving me pure intentions from the jump. I think for me personally, I'm big on banter. Like you need to make me laugh, but it shouldn't be like a forced laughter. But like I just want to see a sense of chemistry in terms of what you're saying is making me laugh, what I'm saying is making you laugh, and then we're building on that. And I think that, I think although I love friendship, I think there needs to be a level of intentionality
As it goes on.
as it goes on.
Like at the start.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. Cool. So at the start, I think.
so where can people find the balance? Because I think that becomes a big, especially in Christianity, is that no one's dating for fun. You know, we're dating to marry. So where do you guys think the balance kind of sits? Like, where's the balance
I think
in?
it's quite hard for me to say this because I haven't gone on any dates. I think, to be fair, people have like asked me to go out and stuff like that, but I'm very...
And you said no?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't think you'd ever directly say no. Destiny will just not open it.
You got me there.
Just won't open it.
No. Do you know what it is like? I feel like no one so far that I've been like, yeah, I could see this, has asked me to go on a date. So until then,
but why? How do you know that?
Discernment.
Okay.
Oh, you're
Well, I want you to answer the. I have another question, but I want you to answer the. Like,
go
where
on.
do you think the balance is?
I think it's really, really difficult because as Destiny was saying, you do want people to be intentional, but I just don't want you to be intentional on day one. Like not on day one, not on day two, but as it goes on and as we get to know each other, then that whole like intentionality, like, okay, this is what I want to do. And
also I think that to get on a bit of a deeper level, you being intentional with me shouldn't just be based off how I look. So
that's true.
The intentionality building up should be based on you actually.
The
conversation.
Day one, all of that's not going to be based off of anything else but how you look.
That's just based on
so someone's messaging you day one, you're sexy, I want to marry you. That's just annoying.
Yeah,
like, you don't even know me.
It's just based on how I look, and looks fade. Like, be into me or dig me or feel me based on my internal stuff, which is things that can only be unraveled the more we talk. Come on.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
And also I think for me personally, as like a social media content creator, like I think that it's easy for people to somewhat assume they know me or have a good idea about me. Literally. And I think my social media platform does give a good example of, give a good insight into who I am, but I'm so much more than my social media platform, as my friends and my family would know. And if someone really wants to take interest in me, they would pursue to see what goes deeper than just Dest Dol.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
I like to like drop subtle intentions, like, you know, through jokes and stuff like that.
How? Give us a good example.
I just start to joke flirt. Once you like start to, you just start making little jokes, like little hints or like side comments.
But do you think that's because you're a Christian and a man of God that you have to do it in a jokey way, that you wouldn't do it
it has to in a subtle way, less
it makes it more subtle though.
It does make it more subtle. But I think just in general, it's just a kind of a good way. But yeah, because you know, people, you live in an age where it's like, I've spoken to girls and you know they're sending them screenshots, and then their friends are like, "You're talking to Dest Tyrone Junior." Oh my gosh! And girls, they eat that stuff. They'll tell you to your face that I was not even in for that, but they eat that stuff up. Like some girls talking to, she sent it to her friends, like, "You're talking to Dest Tyrone Junior." Oh my gosh! What?
I'm finished.
And I feel like for me, especially when things don't work out with girls, I feel like what tends to hurt them even more, this is just my hypothetical theory, is that you didn't just lose me as a person, but you also lost, oh my gosh, you're talking to these, like you lost that kind of status. And which is why, like, going back to my point, like sometimes like, do you really like me or do you like what this kind of status brings? Because a lot of girls are like, is it me that's hurt you, the loss of me or the loss of what I had and what I could bring kind of brings you. So it is a hard one because people always say, no, and even going back to the man of God thing, every girl wants to date a man of God till they start dating a man of God. They're like, oh yeah, I can date a man of God. Yeah, I'll be fine with this. Yeah, And I'll be like, oh, like, you know, I travel a bit. I can be quite busy, you know, like, you know, having ministry. So a lot of people I'm talking to, oh, it's fine. Like, I get it. Somewhere down the line, oh yeah, you don't have time for me. You're always this. Why are you trying so much to do? Your phone's up. I'm trying to call you. It's like, bro, like at the beginning, you said you were calm with this. And so everybody wants to date a man of God till they date a man of God. Then it's like,
no, but there's a grace for.
There is a grace.
Like first ladies, ministers' wives and husbands, like there is a specific grace. And a lot of people don't have it. Like you look at it and you're like, this is exactly what I want. But when he's not replying, when he's going away for days at a time, when he can't be at every one of your kids' functions, then you're crying. But it's like, it's one of them ones where you have to know what you're going into before you go into it. You have to
know. Of course, there's a balance. You know, men of God, like the people who I looked up, they do their best to try, and I think they should, but there is a side, I think someone said it best, I don't know who said it, but it's like, dating a man of God, you share him with the whole world. You share him with the church. You share him with the mission. And so it's like, if you're going to date a man of God, you have to be like, are you okay sharing your husband?
Yeah. Are you okay with that?
With the...
Am I going to... Well, maybe. I don't know.
Are you okay with that?
Are you?
I don't know. I'm joking.
I mean, it's real.
If I marry a man of God, then it's one of them ones, you've got to swallow it.
It's real.
Yeah, may that grace be bestowed.
But do you guys think looks matter? I know in the Christian dom it's like, oh, love of God and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Do you guys think looks matter?
Absolutely.
Is that why you haven't opened some of those DMs?
I like you. I like you.
Do you know what it is? I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big personality person. Like that's what I said. Like I need someone that I can laugh. When I always talk about like when I was younger, and even to this day, when I think about the person I'm with, I always compare it to Michael Kyle from My Wife and Kids. You know, like he's just so funny. He's just so funny. He's just doing ridiculous stuff. Like I need someone that's just got the bants, you know. But I think I want to look at my husband and be like, honey,
You fine.
you fine.
Well
And
done.
I want my husband to also age like fine wine. But to age like fine wine, you got to be fine in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but
true.
I think ultimately looks do fade, like I mentioned earlier on in the podcast. But I think I want to have a bit of attraction. Definitely.
I think you will though. Like I'm really big on this whole like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like I really don't think God is this like mean God that is gonna like be like, Destiny, I'm gonna put you with someone that you just do not find attractive at all. Like the person that you're gonna marry, you will find attractive.
Amen.
But I do think that there does have to be that attraction.
Do you think attraction grows? Because people say like personality can make somebody more attractive.
But that's true though. That's 100%.
That is true.
Because when I was younger, I used to be so shallow. Like I was so shallow. Like I would not talk to anyone unless I thought they were like the most amazing looking person in the world. And then I think when I like got older and I started, I didn't even think that whole like personality growing thing was a real thing until it happened to me.
For you as a man of God, is looks important?
I mean, yeah, like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You want, I mean. I think
You want to be with someone you find attractive.
there's a balance because personality, all that stuff are key and are needed. But I think like I was saying on the phone, it's like sometimes you'll never get to know someone's personality because their looks are always, someone's looks going to determine whether you're going to get to know this person's personality or not. However, I found that in Christendom, sometimes the baddest looking people have the worst
That's very true.
personality. So the question does become personalities over looks. One man of God said, I'm not going to say who said it, one man of God, he was like, oh, if it is a personality over looks thing or whatever, he's like, choose the looks, man, because personalities can develop. That's what he said.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
But yeah, personalities can develop, looks can't really develop.
That is so funny.
But yeah, like
No, but I do think obviously like character in the relationship is going to sustain you better than the looks. So I think it depends on if someone's open to growing, because there's some people you look at them and they might not be all the way there together, but you know that person is aware of their flaws. And like, say for example, there's someone that's like really not patient. They're aware of that and they're like going to God every day about it. I would never look at that person like, I would never be with you because you're impatient. I'm like, okay, you're someone that is going to God that has noticed the problem. So like,
You're working on it.
yeah, you're working on it. So
Well,
let's
I'm trusting
go.
God that he will bless me with both.
yeah, man.
Because he's a God of
Giving you the desires of your heart.
Yeah, he does. I mean, according to his will, though.
Lord, let your will be
No
done.
one's trying to hear that bit.
No one's trying to hear that bit.
No one's trying to hear
But
that
do
bit.
looks matter? I mean, I think to a degree, let's call it a spade a spade. I mean, it does. You don't want to be with somebody that you're not attracted to. Otherwise, just like their presence will just start to annoy you. Like
It's like when someone annoys you and then you look at them and they're good looking, it makes you happy. But when they're
when
not,
someone
it's
annoys
like,
you, then you
ugh.
look at them and they're not attracted. It just makes you annoyed even more. Like,
Yeah.
and so yeah, you have to. For me, I think like I said, like you won't. Most people, let's be real, won't even engage in those type of conversations with somebody that they don't find attractive first anyway.
Yeah.
And so I guess it does matter. Is it the primary thing over everything? Of course not. But it does matter. I mean, you don't want to. One of my brothers was on the podcast. He said, "You don't want to wake up in the morning and you're saying blood of Jesus," like because it's true. Like you want to have that level of attraction. But I do think other things grow the attraction 100%. But there is an initial attraction that has to be there first. And beauty in the eye beholder. There, I mean, and I believe that term 100% because there's some people that see beauty and I don't see it.
Yeah.
And so, everyone sees beauty in different ways.
I actually wanted to ask you something. I was going to ask, how do you navigate a failed relationship?
Yeah. Can I add on to that?
Go on.
Because obviously you are a man of God, right? You're a minister. And technically it's like if you've entered into a relationship, we'd hope that you have like heard from God and you know that that's the person that you're meant to be with. So when it fails or it doesn't work out, like how do you navigate that?
Yeah, I mean, I think this breakup I went to, and that was a big thing. I don't think people looked at it like that because you're this leader, you're this man of God, you're this apostle, you're this prophet that prophesies people, and it's like, you probably said that you heard God in this relationship and now you've gone this far and you've broken that relationship. It's like, oh, can we really trust what you say? So it does actually affect you because it's like, and it's like, also for me as well, you feel like you've wasted time. Like, God, am I wasting time on my destiny, on my life? This is years or months gone to waste. But how do you navigate it? I think for me, prioritize healing. And I think on both ends, prioritize healing. Everything goes back to accountability. I think you just have to have the right accountability structures. So when I've had failed relationships, go to my accountability, my spiritual father. I'm like, yo, help me through this. Like for me, one day my spiritual father sat me down. We had like a counseling, whatever, accountability session. And at the end of it, I'm going to preach. And he looks at me and he says, can I be honest with you, Tyrone? I said, yes, sir, please. He said, if my daughter brought you to marry, I would not let her marry someone like you. I said, whoa.
Yo, that is a pierce to the heart.
But you know what? I think I needed that because I thought, I'm this, who doesn't want to marry me? I'm this big energy. I'm nice. I'm like, what? Who doesn't want to? And it really brought some strong level of humility because I thought there's no fault in me. It's all the girls' fault. It's all the girls' problem. But I needed that. It was like, no, you are damaged and you need help. And I think especially being young and in ministry, it can damage you in those aspects because you have all these people that are serving you, you have all these teams, you have all these people. And so sometimes you take that mentality into relationship with you. So for me, navigating failed relationship is I really have to like analyze also my errors, their errors, the flaws, and just really, really seek the help that I need in them. Of course, like publicly navigating that. I did make some mistakes publicly because, you have to understand, one, you're a public figure, two, other people's feelings are involved. So sometimes you have to be careful now of the comments and the jokes. I'm a very, like I said, jokey person. Yeah. So like if I get fresh in, I'm like, yo, hide the ladies. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I made a joke like that when I came out of a relationship and it was like, this is so insensitive. And I was so upset because I was like, what do you mean so insensitive? This is what I normally am. Yeah. But I learned that you have to understand that different people are sensitive on different levels. And especially when something might have been public to a degree, how you navigate that has to be done carefully. And
I love that. Like,
I think you need friendships as well. Like I think, like I said, there's emphasis on accountabilities, there's your spiritual father. But I think you need brothers as well. Like for me, mendem, you need brothers that you can just kind of confide in. And I think for people, have to learn that you have to be careful to not make the same mistakes that you made in the previous relationship when you're looking for others. And lastly, I'd say, when you've just come out of a failed relationship on both sides, you are not thinking clearly. So accountability to click, because you could just make some decisions that are like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
So I'm hurt. And no one's going to see it like you're hurt. It's just like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? So you're not thinking clearly. So you really have to take time to like, take a step back from everything. Pause if you need to pause, breathe, let people know the decisions you're trying to make because you're not thinking clearly.
Yeah, I think it's such a tough one, like being in something and like you're telling everyone this is from God, I heard from God, and then it doesn't work out. So it's like, so did you hear? Did you not?
And then now people start to like back test. So when you heard from God here, did you hear from God there? It now starts to become a whole trail of how can we trust anything?
Trust you?
And come on, that's why for me personally, this is me. I don't believe in the one, number one.
Really?
I don't. I believe some people could have the one, but I don't believe in the one. That's just me personally. And I don't believe in that whole, oh, God said this is my wife and da-da-da. Because everybody that's been, I would say that relationships are probably the hardest place to hear God because you're always going to hear on the language of your emotions. I've never heard someone in a relationship that's told me that they've heard God say no.
One of our friends who's a prophet, like I remember speaking to him and he was like, listen, when it comes to other people, when it comes to other things, I can hear God. But on this matter of who to marry, I can't hear. He said, I can't hear. I'm fuzzy. I was like, what?
Because your emotions are like, you love the girl, you're attracted to her. So you're going to God like, oh God, is she the one? What are you going to hear? Of course you're going to hear yes. And sometimes you'll see the vision of a red traffic light and you're turning it green. It's green. You're telling yourself it's green. And so I would say it is one of the hardest places to hear God because emotions are involved. My prerogative for how to hear God in relationships is pray for discernment before you enter things. Because your discernment has to lead you into the right person or not. I don't believe there is only one. So I believe there could be multiple ones for you. So even if it doesn't work with this person, somebody once asked me, do you believe in right person, wrong time? And I think all of those things are 100% true. There can be a right person, you got with them at the wrong time. And I just think you have to just build discernment before you get into anything. Because asking God, once your heart's already involved, forget about it. God's going to tell you yes. You're going to ignore the red signs and everything, the red flags, and that's it.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I used to love Justin Bieber. Like, when I tell you, I used to have dreams that I was going to marry him, all of this stuff. I'm thinking, maybe I am going to marry him. Like, it's so crazy when you
About the
proper,
signs.
God has spoken to me. I'm marrying Justin Bieber.
Lol. He's married now anyway, so I
Yeah.
guess that wasn't right.
For real.
5 things that you look for in a potential wife.
Oh, might be characteristics, but obviously number one, you have to be like a loving person. I hate with everything in me attitude and rudeness. Oh my gosh, I hate that. That's the most off-putting thing for me. A girl can be so pretty. If she has a little bit of attitude, I can never see you, right? So you actually have to be like a loving, kind, nice person. Number 2, I am a banterous person. Like you have to be able to like
Laugh.
I don't want to be somebody that like I have to keep telling, oh, I'm joking. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
And let me under the bed. I've got my humor can sometimes be a bit weird and a bit off. So you have to be able to get my humor. I think you just have to be someone that gets me. Of course, and that kind of comes over time. Number 3, I think you have to be patient. Like I said, I'm a very busy person. And like one of my consecrations of life is like I've learned to be detached from my phone. And so a lot of people are like, you don't pick up your phone, you don't answer text and it's not because I'm like erring people, it's just like I've trained myself in life to be like so detached from my phone that I can like go days without touch phone. There are times, I've got 2 phones, the times where I like leave one at home and so you have to like kind of be patient. Of course, when you're in with a girl, like you give them your time.
Yeah.
But you have to be patient. Number 3, this is not, number 4, sorry. It's not like a major thing, but I'm a singer, so like hold down a note, like, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was to be, like, just be musically inclined a little bit. Like,
I would never thought that would be one of your things.
I want to have, carpool karaoke. You don't want you to be singing off key and all those things.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's not like a big thing.
It's a preference.
Yeah. And I think number 5, you have to like have a heart of service. Like you have to be like a real servant. And I'm not talking like serving me, but I just mean
in general,
serving God, like serving people. Because I feel like I'm very like servant minded. You can't be a ministry without being servant minded. But I feel like if somebody has a servant heart, they will never be upset when they see you serving also because they will understand it.
That's good.
That's so good. So Tyrone, thank you so much for joining us. How'd you find it?
I loved it, man. Hopefully you can bring me back for part 2. This is so fun.
Yeah.
I think we need to.
We need to. We've got more things to ask you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Viewers, listeners, thank you so much for your continued support. It's been still crazy. I can't believe all the DMs and stuff we receive. I really do appreciate it. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it more than you know.
But yeah, that's the end of today. Again, thank you, Tyrone Junior, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We have lots of more guests to come up, so look out for that. And we will see you on the next episode.
See you soon, guys. We love you.
Bye.